I want to talk to you about the incredible results of fasting. Yes, I'm also not a very big fan of fasting, but a couple years ago I started putting this into my life in a more intentional and frequent way because I kind of understood the deep and the incredible results of fasting. And I definitely think that this is something that we need to start practicing again. This was something that the Bible actually encouraged us, but nowadays we don't see this as a habit anymore among the Christians. And we are just giving up of such an incredible, powerful weapon from God to us. I want you to understand why. So we are three-dimensional people. We are body, soul, and spirit, right? What the Bible actually shows us is that for us to be able to experience deeper levels of pleasures in this higher levels, like the emotional and most important, the spiritual level, we will have to sacrifice for a while the lower levels of pleasure, like the physical one, because that's how we kind of detox ourselves. We clean ourselves so we can become more sensitive to be able to taste these pleasures that are available for us in these other levels. There is this passage in the Bible where the disciples of John actually come to Jesus and say, look, we fast, and they used to fast a lot. The Pharisees fast, they used to fast like twice in a week at least. And they say to Jesus, why your disciples does not fast? And Jesus say, they don't fast right now because the groom are with them. But when the groom will be taken away, they will fast. The groom was Jesus itself. And he was saying this because Jesus was available to them in these two dimensions, the physical and the emotional one. He was there physically. He was like just enjoying life with them, just having companionship and friendship face to face. But there will be a time when Jesus will be taken away from them. And when he would be taken away, the only way for the disciples to access him would be in this spiritual level. So for them to keep the quality and the level of friendship and companionship that they had with Jesus, they would have to fast in order to clean themselves in other levels, to be able to be sensitive, to hear Jesus like they were used to hear when he was with them in person. So with us is the same. For us to access these higher, deeper levels, we have to sacrifice for a while lower levels so we can clean ourselves and detox. I can give you another example. The Bible also say that even the couples, married couples, they should prevent from intimacy for a while to dedicate themselves to prayer, because that's when they will be more intentional with their relationship with God and just to make sure that they are maintaining this sensitive in the quality of their relationship with God. Even the couples, even normal couple, there is times in the couple's life that they have to take the kids for the grandmas and forget about the bills and just have a date, just reconnect, just look to each other's eyes and just make sure they still are taking care of each other's emotions. And God will actually tells us that is the same with our life with him. And when we choose to do this, it's incredible what we have. We can fasting for specific things. There is, for example, David says in one of his Psalms that he was afflicting his soul with fasting and prayer. Why? Because when you afflict your soul, you actually make your soul weak, and by doing this, your spirit is going to be more strong, you're sensitive, and the spirit's going to be higher because your emotions are kind of low in this moment. That's what we have to do when we fast. Sometimes just thinking about the physical and the emotional together, I prevent myself from watching movies or certain types of entertaining when I'm fasting, because I want to afflict my soul and just allow my spirit to be more sensitive to the Lord. Bethany, okay, I got this part, but what is the results? The results are incredible and so worth it. The fact is that when we started doing this, we can fast for a specific reason like David did, but we can also fasting just to have more from the Lord and to seek him. Actually, I think this is the first reason why we should fast in the first place. And it's just a life-changing experience. I love this psalm right here that I will read for you right now, because it kind of summarizes for me the things that you will access when you decided to fast. So it is Psalm 16 verse 11 that says, "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." So the first thing that happens to you when you start fasting is God make known to you the path of life. It's incredible how the Lord is start to tell you things about your life, about things that he's doing. Oh, secrets from the Bible is just incredible. If you want to have access to a higher level of information that will really benefit you in your life, you definitely need to fast, because God, he gets more intimate, because you're focusing on him and you are more sensitive to him. So you became intimate with the Lord. And when we are intimate with somebody, we trust them with our secrets, with our plans. And that's what God actually does when we start a fasting. I'm telling you, this really happens. I'm going to give you an example. I'm fasting right now for a mission trip that I'm about to do. And that's why I had the idea to make the video, because I'm fasting for this trip. And actually this trip that I'm going to do right now, the mission trip that I'm about to do, at the beginning of the year, I was doing this fasting that I do every January. I do 21 days of fasting, and I put 21 things before the Lord. I do the Daniel fasting, so it's not a total fasting, but it's very limited. The things that I'm able to eat during these days. And I remember I was just doing my list. I had already picked the 21 things I want to put before the Lord. And I actually heard God telling me, I want you to put in your list, take one of these things right there that you already picked, and put the mission trip. And I had already applied for the mission trip, but I didn't know that if I was accepted or not, if I would really go or not. But God told me, you are going, and I wanted to use you there. So it is funny, because after a couple weeks, I find out that I was choose to go to be part of the crew. But I've kind of already knew, because God had already told me that. So it is fun how God actually tells you things. And I'm giving you a little example, but this already happened to me a lot of times, and it's always so exciting, so funny, to know something and realize that God himself told you something that he did not, my English is not the best, but he didn't say to other people. That's amazing. That's a very nice feeling. But that's not all. There's more. The second part of the verse says, "In your presence there is fullness of joy." There is this place of healing in the fasting. If you today are suffering with anxiety, bitterness, or you're still a struggle to forgive somebody, you just have no idea how much fasting could help you. Because when we are fasting, we are open ourselves so Jesus can touch us in the deepest level, and he really changes, and he exchange the ashes for good things, for joy, for, like it says here, for fullness of joy. The Bible says that the joy of the Lord is our strength. And it's really true, because when you get out of the fasting and you feel this joy, it just makes you so strong in the Lord. Your self-esteem goes up. You just became this invincible person. And the last one is my favorite. It's my favorite, definitely, no question about it. It says, "In your right hands are pleasures forevermore." A lot of people just look at me sometimes, used to look at me sometimes like, "Man, you're so young, you're wasting your time with this Christianity thing. You're not enjoying the pleasures of life." But they don't understand how much pleasure is available to us. When we reach this place with the Lord, there is so many good things that we can experience. There is many times I was just, during fasting, I was just shut my door, go in my room, be there with the Lord, and I was feeling so much joy and peace and pleasure in my spirit that I could be there for hours. I wouldn't even care, you know. And for a lot of times I did this. I just stayed there. So just enjoy everything that is available for you and fast. That's my encouragement today.